All right, guys, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach of tonight's game and then go into questions. So, Coach McCaslin.
We went into the game knowing that Corpus played really hard, and I felt like they did. I mean, they got in foul trouble and had to go deep into their bench, but, man, did they compete. And when we had talked to people that had played against them, whether it be a scrimmage or live game, everybody complimented just how hard they played. And I thought that was, really caused us problems. Their defensive intensity, and, we got the separation and got the lead, and then we turned the ball over, and then their defense led to baskets. And then all of a sudden you're in a one-possession game. And then how do you respond? And our guys did respond, and I was thrilled and thankful. Obviously, playing at home makes a big difference. There was an energy in the building, and we got a few stops and got a few baskets in transition. But we didn't play very well, and I've got to do a better job of helping us play better.
Shooting is still just kind of a problem for you guys. Is it more of these shots will go in eventually, we're just missing good looks, or is there something a little bit off with the shots that you guys are taking right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I need to watch the film to get the full scope of it, but it does feel like we're not making the extra pass. Honestly, it feels like we're a half second late on making the right read. We're a half second late on delivering the ball to the right guy on time, on target, and maybe we're a half second on shooting the one that could be a better one for somebody else. And, honestly, I love this group. I do believe we'll get it right. We've got time to get it right, but we've got to do a better job of playing for each other.
And kind of extinction of the charge call now is kind of a big thing with officiating. How have you seen that change with the game that you guys have played so far, and how has your team kind of responded to more physicality in that area?
Yeah, well, when you watch the game today, we got to the free throw line 27 times. So, in the first half, when you miss 17 threes, we turned the ball over obviously too much, but to go 3 for 7 in the second half and then get to the foul line, 12 times, felt like our guys started to understand maybe what we wanted to do better together. And, when you can get to the foul line, you can put pressure on the rim, then you can, start to gain more confidence. And that's what I thought Chance did. Chance got some layups, got to the rim, and then it started opening up for him, and then he made some big shots down the stretch.
Coach, you talked before about team rebounding. Darian led tonight with 14. I guess what does that say about the team in that regard, knowing that you maybe don't have to just rely on Warren for that?
Yeah, no, we're going to have to team rebound, honestly. Just inside, trying to get a rotation of guys that have experience and size and can, have proven that they can rebound at the highest level. That's going to have to be us as a team. And obviously, Darian stepped up in some crucial moments late, especially, and came down with basketballs in traffic, which, it's not like he's playing over the rim. He just has a knack for going and getting it with two hands. And we didn't quite do as good a job as we did the other day in rebounding as a team. Our guards weren't as active as we were, and I thought that showed where balls were getting tipped around and they were coming up with them, and that's where I told Coach Shaw, I thought they played really hard. I thought they competed and beat us to loose balls and beat us to second chance baskets that we needed to limit them on, and it changed the complexion of the game because they were more physical. And so give them credit. We didn't do a great job in that area.
And you just talked about, like, on some of the three-point shooting, maybe guys aren't making that extra pass. But have you ever felt like maybe there have been times where guys are maybe passing up open looks to maybe continue spreading the ball? Like, do you ever feel like they're kind of leaving those out there?
Yeah, that's where it's both, right? Then you're trying to overshare the basketball and trying to find that balance. And honestly, we need more time together, and this team will get better. They love each other. They care a lot about each other. And our team can shoot, we really can. And it's just a matter of making sure we're getting the right shots and when we're getting them. This team, we've had 3 different leading scorers in every game. I think this speaks to the ability of this roster, and that's where maybe it is difficult to find the balance of who and how you want to do it. And I've got to do a better job, honestly, of giving us direction offensively to where it's simpler for us to make the right play.
Coach, obviously you get 17 from Chance on offense, but I was impressed with his defense tonight, and he seemed to be pretty active on that end. I guess, what can you say about how your system puts those guys in the right position, how you coach those guys to get better defensively?
Yeah, we've definitely gotten better. I thought their ability to drive the basketball caused us problems, and kind of when the game got away from us, they really drove it hard, and that's where the charge and being more physical and being there early and making them play through bodies has got to be something we do better. And I'll tell you this, like Chance, given, for example, he got driven a couple times. He came out of the game, and the first thing he said was like, "Coach, I got to do better guarding the ball, being more physical." And that, to me, tells me we're going to be really good. I mean, that's the attitude that you got to have. It's not like, why'd you take me out? It's like, I got to do better defensively. I love that about Chance, and I love that about this team.
When Warren went down and you went to that smaller lineup, just can you walk me through kind of the changes in the offense a little bit, and how it seems like y'all use Warren to distribute the ball quite a bit, and how that kind of shifted away when he went down, obviously? Yeah, no, that's something that we've got to improve on, and we've got to get better, because when we do that, Devin obviously offers different things. I mean, he can drive it. He's a great cutter. He can make an open three. And I've got to do a better job of helping him utilize his strengths when we go smaller. And, part of it is the guard lineup that we have in there with him changes, and then it highlights different strengths of other guys, and that's where more time together, I think, will help us with those different lineups. But I was thrilled just with the energy when the game was on the line of a guy like Joe Toussaint, who came up with some really tough loose balls, and that's where Devin is really good. Like, he's got an activity level to him where he can get deflections, he can guard multiple positions. So we really like that lineup when the game's on the line and we need a switch and everybody needs, but then you could tell we lack some physicality rebounding. I mean, they got us on the glass a couple of times. So, it's as much an advantage defensively at times as is offensively, but I've got to help Devin get better when we go with that small lineup.
Coach, there's been struggles in the beginning of the halves for the team to start scoring to get it. Is it a matter of just that being that half second too late, or is it just something mental that they still just haven't gotten it where you want them to be right now?
This team, when you walk on the court and you can look at the other four guys, you can look at the bench and you go, this is how we're going to win, right? And this is what this team does to win. I think, honestly, this team's walking out there looking around like, how are we going to win right now? And trying to figure out, like, what does it actually look like for 40 minutes? And we've got stretches where it's good for 20, and then we're like looking around like, let's just see if we can, keep playing good. And I think there'll be a growth in urgency, and every second matters when you play. And that's where film will really benefit us over the next few days when we step into, a really tough road swing where we're going to play four legit Big 12 type teams. And how do you prepare every day, and how do you prepare every second when you play? And that urgency, we're still trying to figure that out.
And how does this 3-game homestand, this stretch here, help prepare you for that road? And are you happy where you need to be for that road stretch?
I told the guys when we went in the locker room that I love this team. I really do. I love this group, but that's not going to win. That's not going to win in the Big 12, what we did today. It's nice to win and learn, but that can't be our effort for 40 minutes as a team. And I've got to do a better job preparing us as a group that we have that urgency that we need on both sides. I mean, honestly, it was how loose we were with the basketball offensively that led to transition baskets. So, I mean, it's not just your effort defensively, it's both. And that's where this team will continue to improve.
Coach, you finished the first half pretty strongly. You got that separation you were talking about, but then to start the second half, did it seem to you that Corpus came out with more energy and aggressiveness and sort of maybe hit you in the mouth a little bit, and it took a while for you to recover and finally get back into it a little bit?
That's where leadership is big, right? And the understanding that there's every second you play the game, you better compete. It does not matter who you play. And it looked like we were thinking that we were just going to win the game. And how do you have an understanding that you respect your opponent every time you step on the floor, and how do you play the game to win in every possession? And that's something we'll continue to grow and learn, but give Corpus credit because they did. They got 4 offensive rebounds to start the second half and dove on the first loose ball. And, that's I've got to do a better job of helping our team.
And we saw a lot of full court pressure out of you tonight. Was that something that was more specific to this particular opponent, or is this going to be something that's more and more prominent in your repertoire moving on down the line?
Yeah, I mean, if you saw us at the end of the half, I felt like we could create some opportunities, and we got them on their heels in transition. I mean, we had maybe 8 points in transition, just pushing it ahead, getting stops. And to start the second half, they were driving it on us right from the jump, and we felt like the pressure could get them on their heels at least to start the possession where they'd get later in the clock, and their motion's good. I mean, they screen you, they screen away, they screen you. It's different. It's not ball screens. It's screens and throwing through the post some. And so we felt like maybe that would limit the start of that by pressing them some early and in the second half. And then it kind of got them on their heels enough to where we could set our defense and make them start later in the clock.
And last question, first 2 games, 3-point defense was absolutely stellar. Tonight, I believe they hit something like 40% of their threes. What do you think was going on there with your 3-point defense?
Yeah, when you watch it, they were screening away, and we were trying to switch them, and they would flare them, and then we were deciding if it was going to be a switch, and the guy couldn't decide who was, and they did a good job of just interchanging and getting us late to guys that can really shoot. And so I think we assumed a switch, which you can't do against guys that can really shoot because all they need is 1 second of space. And we got better as the game went on. Actually, late we did a better job. And the guys that we wanted shooting threes did late in the game. But, we that's something that we're going to be able to show on film of, like, you can't make those mistakes. When you're guarding guys that can shoot, you fight through it and don't late switch. And that's what cost us.
All right, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.